Aloha my kākou and welcome to my channel. So today is gonna be like legitimate actual makeup. Finally. So I went and bought some things, but specifically for this video I'm going to showcase one specific thing that I bought, which is the Cargo Cosmetics You Had Me at Aloha eyeshadow palette, which includes 12 eyeshadows, one eye pencil, and a dual-ended brush. And I think this was like 30 something bucks. Let me make triple sure. I'm never prepared when I do this shit. So actually it was $34 and you get 12 eyeshadows plus 2 extra things, and it comes with a mirror in the palette. So that's actually pretty good because my Modern Renaissance palette was 48 bucks, and it only came with a dual-ended brush and a mirror, and that's it. So it didn't come with the eye pencil, and it's still more, but that's because, you know, Anastasia Beverly Hills, you know, it's all about the brand. But anyway, how I got to this palette, my friend sent it to me via Instagram, like messaged me. We found out that it was a Canadian brand. It intrigued me specifically because it said You Had Me at Aloha. I've never seen a palette specifically themed for Hawaii and Hawaiian Islands and Hawaii culture and etc, etc. So of course I wouldn't be Vogue Hawaii if I didn't, you know, try products made for, made by, made with Hawaii, etc. So of course I bought it like instantly. And we found out that it's not just someone who went to vacation to Hawaii and was inspired, named all the shadows something they heard while in Hawaii, but they actually were collabing, I guess, with one of the Hawaii artists that is very popular here. Her name is Anuhea. The marketing Instagram posts that Cargo Cosmetics posted had Anuhea's new song playing in the background. So we thought, oh, maybe they just like Anuhea. But then we finally realized, after a little while, that they were actually collabing with Anuhea because her new song is called You Had Me at Aloha. And that is the name of the palette. I bought this at Ulta because I didn't see it at Sephora, and usually I would just go to Sephora, but I bought it at Ulta on February 8th. Listen to me, February 8th. I got this last week and it is March 12th. So it took like a literal month for Ulta to send this to me from California. Why? I have no idea. For me, Sephora usually like 5 to 7 days. It's pretty consistent. Ulta, 1 month. Ole, not cool. Yeah, so that's just like the background, blah blah blah. So I finally got to try it today. And this is the look I came up with. They have 12, as I keep fucking saying, 12 eyeshadows, and they're pretty big. So the first shade is Hula, which is a golden shimmery shade. The second one, I'm going across. The second one is Waikiki, and it's this transition light tannish brown. The next is Hapuna, which is a bone white tannish. I used it for my brow bone highlight. The one next to that is a neutral, is it neutral? I don't know. It's kind of neutral toned with like shimmers in it. It's named Kona. The next one is like a Kona on crack, but with like a lot more shimmers, and it's called Shell. The next one is a mauve purple. That one's called Shaka. On the bottom is Hibiscus, and it's like this yellowish tan matte color. Is it matte? Yeah, it's matte. The next one is called Island, and it's basically just a another sort of yellowish tannish brown with a lot of shimmers. The next one is a beautiful, beautiful color. It's called Kai. It's this aqua blue-green blue kind of color. The next is Tiki, and it's this dark brown. The next one is called Lei, and it's a more truer purple. It's less mauvey than Shaka. And then the last one is a darker purple with shimmers. It's kind of brownish too, and it's called Luau. These colors are really awesome. I think the palette kind of grabs like the beautiful and the neutral colors of Hawaii. So when you are a tourist, this is like a Hawaii estate. I would have expected a little like maybe a green, because you know it rains here all the time. That's how we get our lush green mountains and trees and junk forest, whatever. But I mean, I guess this will do. This is a small thing, but if you're gonna use the Hawaiian language, you might as well use it in its fullest form, in its accurate form. So if you're gonna use the Hawaiian language in your palette, or in anything really, like literally use the Hawaiian language, the characters. You wouldn't spell piñata without the squiggly above the N, right? That's pinata. So why would you not use all the characters in the Hawaiian language? Just saying. So the first one is Waikiki, and there's kahakos above the two eyes at the end, Waikiki, which makes a difference when you're spelling it, and because when you spell it incorrectly, you say it incorrectly. So it's good to spell it correctly. Hapuna with a kahako at on the A, and Luau, which is Lu kahako, Okina Au, Luau. There's a lot of people who say luau. It's not luau, it's luau. You know, you gotta get that. It's the little things. So there's that. But they're not a company from Hawaii, so I can kind of understand. But then again, if you're gonna make anything in relation to Hawaii and Hawaiian language, you might as well do it right. Like, do your research, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, I think the colors are really nice. It's a good selection, and I think it's really cool that the box actually has some instructions on how to use these, because it can be used as quads or it can be used as duos. For me, I typically do whatever. So actually, the first time I tried this and tried to film, I used this guide here with the quads, and it tells you where on the eye to put that. And so when I first tried it, it didn't work out. It turned out really muddy when I tried to use this system. So it might work for you, but it did not work for me, and it might be because of my eye shape or my brushes, who knows. But it turned out muddy and I had to redo it, and then I just kind of did it how I usually do my makeup. So it's a good guide if you don't know what you're doing, but it's cool that they put it together in these quads and duos so that you can kind of see what matches. Here's one, and then here's two, and then here's three. So it's kind of cool, like if you want to be more mysterious, if you want to be fun and flirty, and then if you want to be like kind of wedding-ish, like angelic. Those are the quads. So when I applied it and it got muddy, I did notice how very blendable they were. They just weren't working in that moment that I was trying to blend them. As you can see, doing it my way, it totally blends fine. But just the first time I used it, just wasn't kicking it right. They're pretty powdery, so be careful when you're like putting your brushes in there. and because it will mess up the powders and it'll go everywhere. So I noticed I had to keep blowing it away, or else I would have grabbed different powders. I haven't used this yet, but anyway, I'm just gonna show you swatches on my hand so that you can kind of see. I did try to contact them because, you know, they're not that big. I've never heard of them, but they might be big in Canada. I don't know. But I thought they would just reply, you know, just cause. But that didn't work out. Because I just wanted to know the history of why they chose Hawaii. How did they team up with Anuhea? Their company, just overall. I just wanted to get like a quick tidbit of this palette, and they never answered, so whatever. I guess you can just Google them, but I didn't. So I don't know much about them. I just know that this palette is pretty freaking awesome. It has really good colors, really blendable, and it shows up. My skin is brown, it shows up. For the shell, it didn't show up so much. It's I haven't used everything, but shell specifically, it's supposed to be in my like inner corners over here, and you can't really tell. So that's the only thing from the 4 that I used. 5, 6, I used 6. And I will be posting this makeup video in the next video, because then if I posted it in this video, it'd be too long and nobody's gonna watch it. Okay, so I said after the swatches I would be done with the video, but after doing the swatches I have a few more things to say. One, first of all, be careful when you're taking powders, taking the shadows from the palette, because it stains the palette apparently. You can see around here it's like all stained from where I tried to grab it with my fingers, and even a little bit of hibiscus. If you want a clean palette, just be careful when you're taking that. And then earlier I said shell didn't do really well, but the swatch was really nice. So it must have been the brush I was using. I noticed the brush doesn't take the powders as well as my finger does. But shell is actually really nice and it's really good. So it must have been the brush I was using. And then Hula, actually, those are my inner corners, and it didn't do very well when I was putting it on both my finger and for my my brush. I used a really thin and stiff brush when I put it in my inner corner, so that might have been why it looks better. But I did use the brush that it came with, and my finger is just all powdery on there, so yeah. And then most of these you can't really see on my complexion, especially the brush ones, so you kind of have to give and take. I know some of the lighter ones I wouldn't use anyway, just because I would just use them for either transition or a bone color or a highlight, so I don't really need that to show up as much as the darker ones on my skin. So I still think these are awesome. Most of them actually are really blendable and really noticeable on my skin, depending on how I use it. So that's all for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Mahalo nui loa as always for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already. Let me know if you get to try this. I'm excited about it and I can't wait to use it, and there's a lot of it, so I'll be using it like pretty much forever until it molds. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in a later one. Shoot.